Santa Fe, New Mexico, 1985. The night was quiet, except for the secret that would soon shake American intelligence. Edward Lee Howard, a former CIA officer, was about to vanish. To neighbors, he was a financial analyst. In truth, he was trained in espionage and deception. Now he was running from his own government. Howard's betrayal would haunt the CIA for years. That night, he outsmarted the FBI and disappeared. The legend of the spy who got away was born. Who was Edward Lee Howard? Before the betrayal, he was the all-American boy, Peace Corps, MBA, the perfect CIA recruit. In 1980, the agency hired him and his wife, Mary. They were thrilled, ready to serve in the shadows. Howard excelled at the farm, mastering tradecraft and preparing for a sensitive Moscow posting. He was given access to the CIA's most guarded secrets. But just before leaving for Moscow, a routine polygraph changed everything. The test flagged deception. Howard admitted to minor drug use and theft, but suspicion lingered. The CIA couldn't risk sending him to Moscow. He was fired, suddenly, brutally. One day, a rising star, the next, disgraced and unemployed. Years of training and trust, gone in an instant. Howard felt betrayed, discarded by the agency he'd devoted his life to. Bitterness took root, a dangerous resentment. He was a man trained in secrets and revenge, now with a score to settle. The CIA's decision would have consequences far beyond what anyone imagined. Howard's fall from grace was the spark that ignited a disaster. The agency thought they'd protected themselves. Instead, they'd created a threat they couldn't control. The seeds of betrayal were sown in that moment, and the world of intelligence would never be the same. Sometimes, the most dangerous enemy is the one you create yourself. Howard's story was just beginning. The next chapter would be written in anger and in blood. The cost of a single mistake would soon become clear. After his dismissal, Howard and Mary returned to Santa Fe, trying to rebuild. He took a job as an economic analyst, a far cry from the world of espionage. The excitement was gone, replaced by routine and resentment. Howard grew restless, bitter, and began drinking heavily. He couldn't let go of the anger towards the CIA. Sometimes he made strange calls, even to the CIA station in Switzerland. His behavior became erratic, haunted by what might have been. He missed the game, the thrill, and blamed the agency for taking it away. He believed they owed him, and if not, maybe someone else would pay. Howard's head was full of secrets, names of CIA assets, methods, operations. This knowledge became a weapon. He was a man with nothing left to lose. Did he decide, in those lonely nights, to sell out his country? The signs were there. He was a ticking time bomb. Whispers and concerns surfaced, but he was dismissed as just another disgruntled ex-employee. The system thought it had worked. He'd been screened out, but they'd trained him, filled him with secrets, then cast him aside. It was a recipe for disaster. The danger was growing unnoticed, and soon it would explode. In 1985, KGB officer Vitaly Yurchenko defected, revealing a mole, a former CIA officer who'd met the KGB in Austria. The clues pointed to Edward Lee Howard. The CIA and FBI realized they had a traitor. They watched Howard's every move, but he noticed the signs. The net was closing, and he knew it. Howard began planning his escape. The clock was ticking. The mole was about to vanish. The pressure was on. Howard and Mary devised a plan, a classic piece of spycraft. Their secret weapon, a life-size dummy dressed to look like Howard. On the night of September 21st, 1985, they set the plan in motion. Mary propped the dummy in the passenger seat as they left for dinner, knowing the FBI would follow. At a sharp curve, Howard jumped out, disappearing into the darkness while Mary drove on. The FBI, fooled by the dummy, saw two figures and kept following the car. Back home, Mary played a recording of Howard's voice on the phone. tricking the wiretap. She placed the dummy in a window, silhouetted for the agents to see. The FBI believed Howard was home, safe and sound. But he was already gone. The ruse was simple, bold, and devastatingly effective. The agents never saw it coming. The escape was underway. While the FBI watched an empty house, Howard was miles away. He reached a second car, drove to Albuquerque, and began his journey. Using his CIA training, he evaded capture at every turn. He flew to New York, then Helsinki, always a step ahead. The FBI realized too late. They'd been tricked. Howard crossed into the Soviet Union, defecting to the KGB. The secrets he carried were now in enemy hands. The betrayal was complete. The search was massive, but futile. Howard had vanished behind the Iron Curtain. His escape became legend, a cautionary tale in intelligence circles. He'd used the FBI's own methods against them. The mouse had outsmarted the cat. News of Howard's escape rocked Washington. The FBI and CIA faced public humiliation. How could a watched man simply vanish? The story of the dummy became a symbol of their failure. For the CIA, the damage was deeper. Howard's secrets led to the arrest and execution of Adolf Tolkachev. Other operations were compromised. Trust with foreign agents shattered. The cost was measured in lives, not just embarrassment. In the Soviet Union, Howard was given a new identity and a comfortable life, but he was never truly free. Haunted by paranoia and alcoholism, he lived as a celebrated but isolated figure. He wrote a book but could never escape his past. In 2002, Howard died in Russia, officially from a fall, though rumors persist. His end was quiet, lonely, and unresolved. The spy who got away couldn't escape himself. His story remains a warning. Betrayal has a price. The agencies learned hard lessons. But for those who paid the ultimate price, the lessons came too late. The legend of Edward Lee Howard was sealed. Howard's case is a lesson in the human factor of intelligence. Agencies rely on systems, but people are unpredictable. The CIA's mishandling of Howard created a threat. The FBI underestimated him. His escape was a masterclass in simple, clever deception. He exploited their routines, giving them what they expected to see and hear. The most effective deceptions are often the simplest. The case forced agencies to rethink how they handle insiders with specialized training. You can't watch a spy like a common criminal. The story is a tragedy of institutional failure. The biggest threats often come from within. A trusted insider, betrayed, can become the most dangerous enemy. Howard's story is still studied today. A reminder that espionage is always a human game. The line between hero and villain is thin, and the consequences are real. Edward Lee Howard's story remains one of the Cold War's most troubling episodes. The only CIA officer to successfully defect to the Soviet Union, he simply got away. His escape shattered the myth of American intelligence invincibility. The dummy in the car became an icon of audacious deception. Howard's tale is more than espionage. It's about ambition, betrayal, and revenge. Was he a master spy or a desperate man? Victim or villain? The truth is complicated. His lonely end in Russia adds to the mystery. He became a warning, a ghost story for future spies. His name is forever linked to betrayal and embarrassment. In the world of secrets, sometimes the mouse gets away, and the legend lives on.